everyone, and welcome back to the channel for today's video. So in today's video I just wanted to do a quick and simple design for Alice's house in Disney Dreamlight Valley. Obviously now we've got Alice in the game, and a brand new bunch of Scrooge and Star Path stuff. I wanted to utilize them and create a little spot for Alice in my meadow. Now I don't know if she'll probably stay here permanently or not, but I felt like the meadow just fit her vibe, and I know a lot of people are keen to keep her in their main valley rather than obviously put her in Teapot Falls over and ever after yet, which will probably be my plan eventually. But as I'm keeping her here for now, I thought I'd do a cute design using a bunch of the new Star Path stuff and Scrooge stuff. So if there's anything you see that you don't recognize, it'll most likely be from there. There's only a couple of like premium items, majority is the new stuff. So I wanted to create a cute design for her home in here in the meadow, so let's get started. So as you can see, I've placed her in this little alcove corner in the meadow. As my meadow is not decorated yet, as most of my biomes aren't, I knew I had a lot of space that I could work with to pop her in here to give me the space to do the designs I wanted to do. So I started off with adding a little gazebo area with the new gazebo from the Star Path, including the new table as well, and give Alice a little dining table to hang out with friends. I included the little book from her level 4 quest, I think it was, and then also some of the other items we get with her. I don't have her level 10 yet, so I don't yet have the item that comes with that. I'm not going to spoil it, but I don't have that yet, so I felt like I wanted to include just a little table in here to really fit her character, and obviously utilize some of the new fairy items, which I feel like even though they're a fairy theme rather than an Alice theme, I feel like these items just go so well with Alice in general, and I feel like this is something Alice would definitely have kind of in and around her house to fit her character anyway. So as you can see with this build, there is a lot of furniture that I placed out as things I was potentially going to use. I don't end up using all of this just because there's not enough space, and also some of them didn't end up fitting the vibe I went for, which was very floral. So I decided to stick with the ones that I knew I was going to use, and also start adding in some of the foliage from the foliage menu, including the giant mushrooms on either side of her house, and kind of figuring out the layout of that so that I could start piecing in the things I knew I definitely wanted to use and get in place before I started adding the smaller furniture, as there is so much furniture that I knew I could use this update. There's a lot of cups and things from Scrooge's, a lot of the big teapots, as well as the cups you get from the key quest in the Wonderland realm, and also as well the stuff from the Star Path obviously. So I knew there was a lot that I could include, so I did have to play around for a while and test what I would fit and what things that I was happy to sacrifice that didn't quite fit with the vibe I ended up going for. Around the front of the build, I wanted to find a way to close it off to the rest of the meadow, because I knew I would have obviously a pathway going from the exit of the plaza all the way to the entrance to the glade, and obviously around the rest of the meadow itself. So I wanted to figure out a way to kind of cut it off, and I actually ended up using some of the Alice hedges that were from a premium shop bundle previously, but you could definitely use some of the hedges in the actual like foliage menu, or you could add some kind of floral bushes and trees if you wanted to give it more of an overgrown look. I felt like I wanted to go more for a whimsical floral garden, so having the structure of the hedges just worked for the vibe I was going for. But I feel like if you were going for something a bit more kind of busy and overgrown, which I feel like would work really well for the Wonderland theme anyway, then I would definitely change these out for some trees, hedges and mushrooms to give it a more overgrown feel. Now to finish up the build, I added in some foliage around the pathway that I placed at the front of the build, just to kind of give an example of where I'd place a pathway if I was continuing to extend the decoration of the meadow, and also meant I could kind of complete that entranceway to Alice's. I then added in some purple lampposts behind her house, which actually you wouldn't see the effect of unless it was sunset or nighttime, but it just gives it a really nice glow. And then I also added in some vine lamps into the actual build itself, only a couple, I didn't want it to be too overwhelming. And then I do go in after and add in some of the Beauty and the Beast candelabras, because I really love that these are always lit and again fit with the kind of romantic vibe to wrap up the build. So here is the final build. As you can see, I'm at the entrance and we have got all of our foliage and teacups and everything lining the entrance with the little fairy banner. And then as we head down the path, I made it really busy with a bunch of the moan wreaths that are from Scrooge's store, some of the flowers from the furniture menu, as well as a bunch of kind of like eclectic items dotted around. On the left hand side, we've got a couple of the large teapots which are from Scrooge's. We've got a couple of Star Path items as well as some things from the realm. So there's a big variety in here. And then further along, I added in a teacup with the little toadstools around that are from the Storybook Vale, and a lot of foliage around the front of her house to give it this really nice floral kind of overgrown feel. Behind her house, I put in one of the rainbow pots that we got from the Clover event. And then on the right hand side, we've obviously got our seating area where Alice and friends would probably hang out. So I've added some books and things to the table, as well as one of the new Alice in Wonderland craftable meals. There's 3 to do, I think, so this is one of them. And then I've also obviously added some candles and the Isabella flower rug underneath to fit the floral look. And then finally on the right hand side, I added in just a couple of the little flowers from the Star Path, a pumpkin vine lamp, and obviously the beautiful tea fountain, which is a really nice centerpiece in this section. So here are some shots of the final build. I hope you guys end up liking it. I had fun playing around with the new camera function where you can kind of hide your character and got some much closer up shots. So I'm glad that I can now do this in build videos to give you guys a better look. But obviously I wanted it to feel very busy, very vibrant, hence why I felt like the meadow just made complete sense for this build. Let me know down below if you guys enjoyed this and if you've done any decorating yet with Alice's house. Are you keeping her in your main valley or over in Ever After? I know definitely eventually I'll put her in Ever After. I'm thinking of changing the whole of Ever After all to Alice in Wonderland theme, so that's going to be a big task, but obviously that is something that I'll probably do at some point. But for now, I wanted to keep her in my main valley so that I can quest with her easily and enjoy having her around, as well as enjoy having all the new items dotted around. If there are any items you're not sure where they came from, let me know in the comments below and I can get back to you about whether they're from Scrooge's or from the Star Path or anything like that. Please like the video if you did enjoy it and consider subscribing if you do want to see more build content from me, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!